everyone, welcome to Primary Market Chatter brought to you by Sunday Investing. This is our February 3rd week IPOs episode. It's been a tough week. It's been a tough year. Tough week, tough month, tough year. But yeah, that's how I want to start this, and maybe that's why we are taking a brief hiatus. We didn't cover the last four IPOs as well. Just that the market has been so tough, and especially after seeing the last listing, Elegance getting listed in discount, that gave me a huge shock. Like that's something which I wasn't expecting. But having said that, it's all a part and parcel of game. We are back. We'll review the companies which are coming in with their IPOs uh, in the coming week. Just want to highlight a few things. One, we are not SEBI registered research analysts, so definitely do your own due diligence. Do not take anything as a qualified opinion. Definitely make sure that you understand the risk and definitely read by yourself before kind of, taking any decision. Do not take anything on face value. Is the first thing which I wanted to put as a disclaimer. And then the second thing which I wanted to put as a disclaimer is again, like the markets have been slightly difficult. So there is no harm in remaining away from the market. Any capital saved is essentially, any capital not lost is capital saved. So if you are unsure, definitely take your time and stay out from the market if required and come back when things start looking better. It is a very good strategy. And a strategy which a lot of us are also following. I wish I was following to 100%, but quite a few people are in cash. So it's a good strategy to see where the market's drawing bottom, but it's been a difficult market. Maybe we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, I just want to mention that the YouTube channel's link is in the pinned comments. If you are joining us for the first time or haven't joined us on YouTube, definitely do that. You can listen to all the company's IPO reviews there itself when you have time at your own leisure. Per se, having said that, let me just set up what we'll be doing today. So today we are hoping is a quick episode because again, not a lot of things to cover per se, but yeah. In terms of the agenda, we will start with the four SMEs and then end with Quality Power Electrical, which is a very interesting company, but probably coming at a tough time. So we'll start with the first company, which is Tejas Cargo, then go to LM Mehta, then Shanmuga Hospital, then RoyalArc, and then go to Quality Power. The four SMEs should rather be small, but yeah, starting with the first company, Tejas Cargo. It's a logistics company located in Faridabad that provides supply chain transportation services by road throughout India. It provides express road transportation services under FTL and has a fleet of 1,130 vehicles, 218 trailers, and 913 container trucks. Just setting up the IPO, it's a big size IPO. It's a 106 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue. And the company is coming at a market cap of 401 crores. So 400 crore ki valuation pe, they are raising 106 crores, so like 26%, again 26.5% the bare minimum. In terms of FY24 financials, they have done a revenue of 420 crores and a PAT of 13 crores. So 13 crores ke PAT pe, they are coming at 401 crores, which is like very high PE per se. Like if I think about it, it's like 31 PE, easy. In terms of FY24, in terms of the LM is Newberry Capitals. So just talking about Tejas Cargo to start with, it basically is a FTL player. So FTL stands for full truck load. तो basically क्या होता है उसमें ना जो फर्स्ट माइल होती है और जो लास्ट माइल होती है वो लॉजिस्टिक्स आउटसोर्स कर देते हैं और बेसिकली जैसे जो भी बड़ी फैक्ट्रीज वगैरह होती है उनको चाहिए होता है कि लेट्स से दिल्ली के मेरे गोडाउन से फॉर द लैक ऑफ अ बेटर एग्जांपल कोलकाता के गोडाउन तक माल जाना है. सो द ट्रक दे विल टेक द फुल ट्रक ऑन रेंट एंड fill it by themselves and send it. So it's a very traditional business. It's a very asset heavy business. They have 1100 trucks. The business started in like 2001, I think, as a private limited. Uske baad 2020 mein they converted it to public, as a proprietorship. 2020 mein they converted it to a private limited and have been growing since then. But again, it's a very old business, logistics, very asset heavy. So there will always be a lot of working capital requirements. Clients don't pay on time. you will always be a second player to the clients will always have two, three, four logistics partners. So it's a very tough industry to be in. Although if our logistics cost is much higher and it will get a lot more efficient. So there's a lot of scope in this industry. But again, it's one of those players जो कि बहुत टाइम से जैसा चल रहा है वैसा चलता आ रहा है एंड if I talk about like where their if I talk about their revenues it's been growing like 2022 में उन्होंने 209 करोड़ किया था 2023 में 380 करोड़ किया 2024 में 420 करोड़ किया and now this year in the first 6 months they have done like 250 crores so they should close at like 500 crores. So it's a growing company, but its growth has came at the cost of putting in more trailers and trucks. So if you have more trucks, you can rent out these trucks more, right? So like इनका जो अभी जो ये raise कर रहे हैं 106 crores वो भी trucks के लिए ही कर रहे हैं and like मैंने एक interview में सुना where he said that for every one truck you can do like revenue of like 5 lakhs in a month, so 60 lakhs in a year. That's the approx revenue that you can do from one truck. So again, but all of these trucks are being taken on commercial loans, जो कि इनकी बैलेंस शीट में साफ दिख जाता है. सो अगर आप इनकी बैलेंस शीट देखोगे ना तो काफी मतलब काफी लेवरेज्ड है बैलेंस शीट. सो अराउंड 294 करोड़ की बैलेंस शीट है जिसमें से 64 करोड़ ही खुद के 230 करोड़ इज फ्रॉम लोन्स एक्सेट्रा ट्रेड्स पेएबल. अराउंड 205 करोड़ का तो लोन है जिसमें से 150 करोड़ इज अगेंस्ट दीज कमर्शियल व्हीकल्स एंड 55 करोड़ इज फॉर वर्किंग कैपिटल एंड देयर ट्रेड्स रिसीवेबल डेज इज ऑल्सो 51. तो मतलब 2 महीने तो पैसा घूमने में वापस आने में लग जाता है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट लाइक इफ दे लेट्स से डू 600 करोड़ देन दे नीड अ वर्किंग कैपिटल ऑफ 100 करोड़ जैसा कि उनका दिख भी रहा है अभी ट्रेड रिसीवेबल में दे आर समवेयर अराउंड 86 CR, which is stuck in trade receivable, which is just the nature of the business. So it's a very tough business to do. And in terms of like, I don't think market gives it a very big high PE, but it is coming at a very, very high PE, at least in terms of like, what it has, done so far. So अगर मैं FY24 पे देखूं, so the business is coming at, in terms of FY24, it's coming at 30p and FY25 में it's coming, FY25 अगर मैं annualize भी कर दूं let's say, then also it's coming at 23p. Like FY25 में इनने 8.5 करोड़ कर लिया है. So if I annualize that and say कि वो 17 कर लेते हैं, then also it's at 23p. So it's a very high PE business and like it's coming at a very high P and logistics generally don't get very happy, especially these asset heavy logistics because तुम्हारे पास कुछ like तुम्हारी जो main asset है वो भी collateralized है और you can like you are probably just one bad month away from a cash flow problem. So market doesn't value these companies well. Like Ashapura Logistics इसका एक example देख लेते हैं which is like at like 10p not doing very well. So I don't understand how this company would stand the test of time. So I would definitely be avoiding this company. There are 8 anchors in it, but nothing special in terms of the anchor book as well. So that is what my review was of Tejas Cargo. I would have probably avoided it in good times as well, but in bad times it just makes no sense to go after these companies which can be risky per se. So I'll definitely be avoiding it. Anything which anyone has to add, or we can probably move forward to the second company?
Very similar view. Very, very expensive and nothing particularly special. So if it had come at a better valuation, it would have still been interesting, but at 22 times seems like a clear avoid. And I'm surprised that they've not seen the market and they're still coming with this kind of raise at this time. I think it's high time some SME does not get fully subscribed. Anyway, that's a different point, but maybe that will help.
Yeah, let's see what happens. But and the LM is also Newberry Capital. Like उसके नाम में new है, but it's their first engagement ever. So let's see what they do. I am not confident on this. With that, maybe we'll talk about the second company, LM Mehta Polymers. The company is engaged in trading and manufacturing of plastic products. It sells products under the brand name Super Pack and has product portfolio of ropes, granules, and swines, and has a very, very small IPO. It's a like just setting up the IPO for Yash. It's a 7.5 crore IPO, all of which is a fresh issue at a market cap of 27 crores. So very small market cap also. In terms of like FY24 financials, they did 19 crores and a PAT of 86 lakhs. So it's coming at like 30 PE per se FY24. In terms of the LM is Swastika InvestSmart. So maybe over to you, Yash. Do you want to go ahead and talk about LK Mehta Polymers?
Sure, Manish. So this issue will be also be very quick. Similar views of not applying. So what they do is LK Mehta Polymers is involved in the trading of uh, comprehensive array of plastic products, which are basically monofilament ropes, danneline ropes, tape ropes. They provide wide ranges of uh, these 3-4 products. Also, what they are engaged in other than these is trading of gold granules and scrap. And one thing which is very interesting and funny is कि they are trading gold, and not to mention कि they have not even given what they are exactly doing here. So I'm just taking it as a face value. बट जो मेन बिजनेस है जिनके बारे में पूरा आरएचपी में लिखा है उसके बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. तो थोड़ा जो मोनोफिलामेंट रोप्स वगैरह है, ये सब बेसिकली नॉर्मली यूज किया जाता है ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, एग्रीकल्चरिंग और हैवी लिफ्टिंग वगैरह में to tie things up. Then danneline tape rope are used in mining, shipping, etc. Then the two things which are baller twine and packaging twine are also used in retail packaging or agriculture, food packaging, and etc. And granules are just basically a kind of raw material for these. So what they have done is they have done almost 10 crores of revenue in 2022, then 17 crores of revenue in 2023, then 18.8 crores in 2024, and in 9 months they have done 11.9 crores. So मोटा मोटी 12 crores तक करा है. So I don't think there is much growth this year. I think max to max last year जैसा ही growth आ सकता है, which is 85 lakhs, 90 lakhs और of profit. पैट मार्जिन वही रहेगा इनका 3 से 4% का. अभी जो इनका कैपेसिटी है, अगर मैं उसकी बात करूं तो दे आर रेजिंग 7 करोड़. तो उसमें से भी इनका जो कैपेसिटी है वो उसका यूटिलाइजेशन का अगर मैं बात करूं तो FY22 में 54%, FY23 में 52%, FY24 में 34%. तो वो भी डिक्लाइन होता जा रहा है. प्लस जो ओवरऑल इंडस्ट्री है, ये बहुत फ्रेगमेंटेड मार्केट है. कोई बैरियर्स टू एंट्री नहीं होता है, कोई भी ये काम स्टार्ट कर सकता है ना. एंड इसके जो टॉप 10 कस्टमर्स हैं वो काफी कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड भी हैं. ऑलमोस्ट 70-75% का रेवेन्यू कंट्रीब्यूशन है उनकी तरफ से. प्लस जो इनके सप्लायर्स हैं वो भी 90% कंट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं इन द रॉ मटेरियल्स. तो बहुत एवरेज, बिलो एवरेज कंपनी बोलूंगा इसको मैं. एंड सेक्टर इज नॉट वेरी फेवरेबल. प्लस ऐसी मार्केट में आई डोंट थिंक दिस विल गेट द प्राइस टू अर्निंग्स विच दे आर आस्किंग. 30-32 times post issue market cap is very expensive for these kind of business. Max at sometimes even in the bull market, crazy bull market also, these companies don't get high valuation. 15-17 times ही मोटा मोटी नहीं खिंच पाता है. And if they are asking 30 times is the worst they can do right here at this point in time. Plus market cap बहुत छोटा है, तो no point in wasting money in this issue.
Got it. Thanks so much, Yash. Just want to highlight one thing. It's a very small size IPO, right? So there is some chance of some game happening because of the small size. I was looking for some undercurrents basis with subscription may happen. So I feel
मनीष भाई,
we
अभी तो गेम उनके साथ हो रहा है जो स्टॉक्स खरीद रहा है.
है जो अप्लाई कर रहा है. हाँ, वही लाइक इट्स अ टफ टाइम टू बी इन मार्केट पर से, बट आई फील इसमें ना कंपैरेटिवली आई फील डिस्काउंट chances would rather be low, but I can't say. So should avoid this one as well per se. With that, maybe we can now move forward and talk about the third company, Shanmuga Hospital. Again, that should also not take a lot of time. Incorporated in 2020, this Salem-based multi-specialty hospital is equipped with advanced healthcare technology, as they say, and has a 151 bed capacity. It is accredited by NABH and NABL. And the setting up the IPO for Rohit, It's a 20.6 crore IPO. The company is raising 21 crores approx at a market cap of 73.5, so 74 crores. So again, diluting like 26-28%. In terms of FY24 financials, the revenue is 43.4 crores, PAT is 5.3 crores. So it's coming at like 15p, which seems decent, but again, hospital stocks haven't done very well, and the PAT somehow magically seems to disappear from the hospital stocks after listing. In terms of the LM is also not great repute as such. It's Finshore Management. So with that, I think I've already covered your review.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. I think we can move on to the next issue. But okay, I'll very quickly add the 10% that you left out. So yeah, there's a very small 151 bed multi-specialty hospital just based in Salem, which is a town in, it's just like a logistically well-placed town in Tamil Nadu. They have, a lot of, in terms of their facilities, their main thing or what they try to tout is they have this oncology unit. But apart from that, they have almost all the standard things you'd expect in a hospital. They also have a diagnostic center in-house with decent, things like X-rays, ultrasounds, CT scans, and so on. They also have a pharmacy and a clinic. So this is what this Shanmuga hospitals that we have bothered about has. They also do one more thing, which is they do some training for medical professionals and doctors, but they don't have a full-fledged college attached to it. This is something I know investors look at positively, since it gives a steady stream of doctors to induct into a hospital. But that's something these guys don't have. But what I do understand is in Salem, so a couple of things. One is Salem itself is a hub for healthcare in the region because of where it is located. Firstly, a lot of the villages and towns around people come to Salem. The other thing is when they have to go from one place to say go to Bangalore or go to say from Chennai to Kerala, Salem kind of comes in the way. So this place itself has a lot of large and regional brands, like a Manipal, Wims and so on. And it has a lot of small hospitals like Shanmuga. And I saw a tweet which spoke about how there are 3 or 4 new large 8-10 story hospitals that are currently being constructed in Salem, which is ultimately a town of like 1 million people. So it looks like healthcare is, you can say it is booming there, but it also means there's a lot of competition for a small brand like a Shanmuga. So I'm not too sure what the long-term future of this business is. Even if you see for the last 3 years, the business has been completely stagnant at around 40 to 45 crore. The margins have also fluctuated. You can say they'll probably do around 5 CR this year, but 2 years back they did like 6.5 CR of PAT. The funds are being used for some capex, but I really don't know what difference that will make to the business. It's coming at like 15 times PE or 9 times EBITDA, which is often used in hospitals. The hospital is a business where the larger you are, the stronger the moat is. As in size kind of eats up all these sort of smaller players. So you'll never see a small hospital trading at a very high multiple unless there is something special in the story, that there's something in the story. So there was this recent listing, Asarfi, which is a similar single hospital kind of play in, I think, I'm forgetting Jharkhand or something, which trades at 18 times, 7 times EBITDA. And that actually has a better growth story. And I think some of their plans have started fructifying now. There was this Maitreya which came some time back, which people look at as a good SME hospital story. But that has gone from being a single hospital to now having 6-7 hospitals under the brand. And from next year, their revenues will really, really jump. So it gets a fairly high multiple for that reason. I honestly have no idea how this business will grow, whether they're going to do new geographies, some kind of brownfield expansion. Just adding a CT scan with this capex is not really going to change anything. So there's no information in the RHP either on how they intend to actually grow the business. None of the typical hospital metrics, like an average revenue per bed or occupancy or any of that is mentioned. In fact, they have mentioned that capacity is not a relevant metric for them. So I don't understand. Like, this is a complete avoid for me. It doesn't matter if it's 15p or what. If this company has no growth, at least not well elaborated or articulated growth, it's not at all interesting. So I am going to skip, and I would not recommend this to anybody I know either.
Got it. I really wonder how, like these IPOs are coming, especially during times of like turbulent times, and it doesn't seem like SME IPOs are stopping. लाइक अगले हफ्ते भी आप देखोगे ना, तो लाइन लगी हुई है, 3-4 आईपीओ मेरे को दिखे थे जो आ रहे हैं. So again, let's see what happens. But yeah, with that, we'll kind of go forward and talk about the one last company, RoyalArc Electrodes, which is the fourth SME, and then talk about quality power, which Tanmay said will take a lot of time. And I will not stop him in between. But yeah, setting up RoyalArc Electrodes, the company is engaged in business of manufacturing of welding consumables such as welding electrodes, MIG, TIG wire, etc. They basically used copper coated wires, MS strips, and ferroalloy powders at their facility in Umbergaon, Gujarat, and convert them to the materials used for welding. Just setting up the IPO for Yash, it's a 36 crores IPO, out of which there's a big OFS, 15 crore OFS, 21 crore is a fixed issue, is a growth capital which is being raised, fresh issue. Market cap is 133 crores. The company is coming at a market cap of 133 crores. In terms of the FY24 financials, revenue 101 crore का था कंपनी का, and PAT था 12 crores का. So it's coming at a very decent FY24 PE. It's at like 11 PE. So FY25 should be much lower than this as well. But yeah, let's see. In terms of the LM is FedEx Security. So with that, yes, do you want to go ahead and talk about RoyalArc?
So RoyalArc Electrodes is engaged in the business of manufacturing of welding consumables. For example, welding electrodes, flux cord wire, MIG, TIG wires. So basically, the application of these products are used in welding of tanks, boilers, maybe some heavy structures, and pressure vessels. Pressure vessels. So so I'll talk about first the one of the most important part for the company is कि इनको certification मिला है 2021 में BIS का for its flux core wires उसके लिए. तो what they are doing is mostly core activities में तो यही आता है manufacturing. Then there is ancillary trading which is addition to manufacturing, जिसमें ये लोग ancillary products बनाते हैं such as abrasive wheels, welding flux. ठीक है. तो जो इसका टारगेट मार्केट है इट्स मोस्टली डोमेस्टिक प्लस ऑल्सो हैव एक्सपोर्ट 15-14% का एक्सपोर्ट भी है. अगर मैं कंपनी के पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स की बात करूं तो काफी अच्छा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेबिलिटीज बना रखा है कंपनी ने. प्लांट वगैरह लुक्स वेरी नाइस, एटलीस्ट इन द पिक्चर्स इट लुक्स वेरी नाइस. प्रमोटर्स को एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा खासा है, प्रोडक्ट पोर्टफोलियो अच्छा है कंपनी का. ठीक है, मार्केट में अच्छा खासा पेनिट्रेट कर रखा है. ठीक है. The things which I don't like is much higher in this company. For example, the main key management promoter taking out 15 lakh salary per month is a very negative point for me, given that this is a very small company, small market cap company. Then there is OFS of 14 crores, I think. OFS है. That is also a big negative point. ठीक है, क्योंकि मतलब मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का काम करना है एंड इफ यू आर टेकिंग आउट ऑलमोस्ट मतलब 15 lakhs पर मंथ इज ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू 1.5 1.8 करोड़ पूरे साल का. अगर मतलब टॉप अगर मैं बात करूं मार्केट लीडर्स की तो दे माइट बी टेकिंग दिस टाइप ऑफ सैलरीज. ठीक है, तो बॉटम लाइन काफी हैम्पर होती है क्योंकि फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट बढ़ जा रहा है. और उसमें भी क्या है कि जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी इन्होंने लगा रखी है उसमें एक चीज और थी कि दे आर नॉट ओन बाय द कंपनी. वो मेन जो प्रमोटर है उसने लीज करके अपनी कंपनी को दे रखा है. देन पर मंथ उसको उसका रेंट टाइप का भी जाता है. तो दैट इज अगेन टाइप ऑफ हैम्परिंग विद द फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी. प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी वॉज फाइन फॉर द कंपनी. लास्ट ईयर इन्होंने काफी अच्छा करा था. लास्ट ईयर एज इन FY24 में ऑलमोस्ट 12 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट दिखाया था. बट दिस सितंबर में इन्होंने खाली 3 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट दिखाया है इन अ सेल ऑफ 4.45 करोड़. अब अच्छा, इसमें एक इश्यू और लगता है मेरे को कि भाई अगर वी आर ऑलमोस्ट इन फेब्रुवरी, ठीक है, अभी फेब्रुवरी भी हम आ चुके हैं, ऑलमोस्ट गेटिंग ओवर. तो वाई दीज मैनेजमेंट हैव प्रॉब्लम सबमिटिंग 9 months का फाइनेंशियल इन दोस कंपनी. ये LK मेहता ने भी 9 months का दिखाया, भले से कैसा भी दिखाया. तो ये मेरे को बहुत घपलेबाजी लगती है कि भाई तुम 9 months का क्यों नहीं दिखा रहे हो. तो वो दिखाना चाहिए था इन्हें. बैलेंस शीट इज क्वाइट फाइन, ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है बैलेंस शीट में. डेट फ्री कंपनी है, ज्यादा डेट नहीं है कंपनी के पास. ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स में समवट कैश इज देयर, बट दैट इज फाइन गिवन द इंडस्ट्री इट वर्क्स इन. कैश फ्लो इज अगेन पॉजिटिव फॉर लास्ट 3-4 years, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो फाइन. कंपनी का प्राइसिंग भी ठीक करा हुआ है LM ने. not expensive. I think post market cap पे अगर मैं annualize कर दूं उसे तो will be around 20-21 times और promoter holding भी ठीक है. But the only problem is कि few of its peers are already trading at 20 times and few are trading at 45-50 times. तो अभी how much valuation will market give? What I think is इसको इतना ही valuation मिलेगा because of these negative points की rent out करके खुद से पैसा निकाल रहा है. So basically it's मतलब पैसा ही निकाल चूस रहा है, अपनी कंपनी से ही पुल आउट कर रहा है. तो उसमें मेरे को लगता है कि प्रमोटर का इंटेंशन नहीं है कि टू मेक द कंपनी बिग बट टू मेक हिज ओन पॉकेट्स फैट. तो वो एक इशू है. तो आई थिंक अवॉइड ही करना चाहिए गिवन द मार्केट इज वेरी वीक. तो फिर ऐसा हो जाएगा कि एक पॉइंट से दिखता है कि अच्छा कंपनी तो ठीक लग रहा था, तो अभी अच्छा इसमें ऐसा होगा कि अगर पॉजिटिव खुल गया तो पीपल विल थिंक अच्छा कंपनी तो ठीक ही था, बट अगर नेगेटिव खुल जाएगा तो बोलेंगे अरे तो देखा ही था ना कि 15 लाख में सैलरी निकाल रहा है, खुद को लीज करके उसने पैसा निकाल रहा था कंपनी में से. तो बेटर है कि एट अ पॉइंट ऑफ कंफ्यूजन बेटर टू अवॉइड थिंग्स.
Got it. Salary withdrawal, big salary withdrawal, and then rent withdrawal for the office. This kind of reminds me of a company called Creative Graphics. उसमें भी एग्जैक्ट दो सेम चीजें थी. Yes, आपने भी देखी राइट, मेरे साथ भी we both bought it together, right? If I'm not wrong. But yeah, thanks for your review. Again, I'll be avoiding this company as well. Essentially, just not applying to a lot of SME IPOs right now. With that, maybe we'll go forward to one Mainboard IPO, which is there. Quality Power Electrical. Just setting up the company, it is engaged in the business of energy transition equipment and provides high voltage electrical equipment and solutions for grid connectivity and energy transition. So a definite interesting segment with a lot of tailwinds per se. So definitely interested in understanding about this company, what the company does and how it will be valued. In terms of the IPO, it's a 860 crores IPO, out of which 220 crores is a fresh issue and 640 crores is a OFS. So big size OFS in this. And the company is coming at a market cap of 3292, so like 3300 crores. So they are diluting like 25%, 800 crores at a 850 crores at a 3300 crore market cap. In terms of the FY24 financials, they did a revenue of 331 crores and a PAT of 55 crores. तो ये आ रहे हैं like 10x sales पे. तो 331 crores का revenue है, 3200 हमने market cap लगाई है, तो at least at a high level seems like a very richly valued company. In terms of PAT, it is like PE, it is valued at like 60, 65 PE, something like that. So again, FY24 richly valued. In terms of the LM is Pentopath Capital. So with that, maybe Tanmay, do you want to go ahead and cover Quality Power?
I'm audible.
Yes.
So first of all, I'll say one thing कि this company is not like our usual one जहाँ पे आपका business model और सारी चीजें बहुत कम समय में हो जाएगी. So this review should be a bit on a lengthy part. Okay, I'll try to explain the product portfolio as well as the business model. So Quality Power Electrical Equipments Limited is a leading manufacturer of power products and solutions across power generation, transmission, distribution, automation sectors. Company's high voltage electrical equipments are used for electrical grid connectivity. Quality Power is one of the few manufacturers of critical high voltage equipment for high voltage direct current, which we also called as HVDC, and flexible AC transmission systems, which is also called as FACTS. So it is one of the very few manufacturers in whole world, okay, globally. I would say almost like 8-10 ही player है पूरे world में, उसमें से this is one of the company. Now, I know कि after telling this much, 80% लोग के like understanding नहीं हुआ होगा कि what basically company का products है. So I'll just explain the product portfolio. They have दो अलग अलग चीजें segments है जिनमें उनके products है. The first one is power products and second one is power quality system. So what I'll do is I'll tell you the segments in ये दो segments में भी इसके sub segments है और उसके अंदर products है. So I'll explain that way. The first segment, the first major category is power products. In that first segment is coil products. In this, they basically manufacture the reactors. Okay, like air core reactors, iron core, and oil filled reactors. Some few more products are like line traps and line tuners. The second segment is transformers. In this, they manufacture earthing transformers, special application transformers, and dry type transformers. The third one is instrument transformers, and the fourth one is Edison composites. Now I'll come to its second segment, second category, which is power quality systems. In it, the first segment is passive systems, in which they manufacture capacitor banks, harmonite filters, and shunt reactors. The second segment is hybrid systems, in which they manufacture magnetic controlled reactors, thyristor controlled transformers, thyristor switched capacitors, and active systems. In active systems also, there are three parts: static wire compensators, which is also called as SVC, statcoms, and metal endorsed capacitor banks. Now I'll give the revenue breakup. The power products, which is the first major category, contributes 45%. The second, which is power quality systems, contributes 54%, and others is 1%, जिनमें इनका sale of scrap आ जाता है, कुछ other income आ जाता है, which is non-operating kind of an income. If I bifurcate the revenue between domestic and export, the company supplies 76% उनका revenue, it comes from overseas or exports, 22% from domestic, and 2% is other income, which is uncategorized. Okay, the company has 7 facilities, 5 in Sangli, Maharashtra, 1 is in Alua, Kerala, and 1 is in Ankara, Turkey. Okay, the company is raising 859 crores, out of which 225 crores is a fresh issue and 634 will go towards OFS. In the fresh issue, 117 crores is kept aside for acquisition of Meru Electrical and Mechanical Engineers Private Limited. 27.2 crores are earmarked for the capex, and 80.8 crore are for unidentified acquisitions plus GCP. I'll give some data on Meru. Meru Electricals Engineers Private Limited has capabilities to manufacture instrument transformers up to 500 kV. यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा confusion है, I feel वो थोड़ा गलती हो गया. RSP में 400 kV लिखा है and Meru के वेबसाइट पे 500 kV लिखा है, and actually this segment में वो kV का बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करता है, so I don't know what figure to rely, but on website it's 500 kV, on RSP it's 400 kV. Well, I'll tell the product portfolio of Meru. They manufacture oil-cooled transformers, resin cast systems, combined CTPT and CVT sends, high voltage test kits, capacitor voltage transformers, electromagnetic voltage transformers, and precision grade test benches. Okay. In H1 of FY25, the company did a revenue of 112 crores and a PAT of just 4.9 crores. मतलब इनका EBITDA margin है 7.7%, ये ज्यादा नहीं है. Okay. In FY24, the company did a PAT of roughly 13 crores. Okay, this Meru Electrical, which is the expected acquired entity. I'll come to its financials of whole Quality Power as a company. In FY23, the company did a revenue of 253 crore and PAT was 39.9 crores. मतलब मोटा मोटी 40 करोड़ का PAT था. FY24, the revenue jumped by 20% to 300.6 crores and PAT jumped by roughly 30% to 55.5 crores. In H1, the revenue was 155.7 crores and PAT was 50 crores. Now there is very interesting point in it कि इनका EBITDA margin of FY24 is 12.7%. Okay, 12.7%, and a PAT margin is 16.7%. And in H1, the EBITDA margin is 20.2% and PAT margin is 27%. This is very very rare thing. Okay, now I'll tell you कि ये क्या है और क्यों है. अभी अगर आप इनका रेवेन्यू निकाल के देखिए तो रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशंस एंड अदर इनकम है. ओके, तो अदर इनकम FY23 में 20 करोड़ था, FY24 में 30.8 करोड़ था, एंड H1 वाज 27, व्हिच इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 15% ऑफ द होल ऑपरेशंस. नाउ आई विल गिव हियर द ब्रेकअप, और इसका मैं क्यों दे रहा हूं वो आई विल एक्सप्लेन आफ्टर एट अ लेटर पॉइंट. द कंपनी हैज सम बैंक डिपॉजिट्स, तो उसके ऊपर जो दे आर गेनिंग दैट इज 11 करोड़. ओके, in FY24 11 crores they get and H1 is 5.7 crores. There is one more interesting कि यहाँ पे इनका interest income जो है, okay, in FY24 that was 9.7 crores and just in H1 it's 11 crore. Now what I personally feel is कि जो 11 crores that is for the complete year and in H2 it will be complete zero. What I feel of it will be very minor. तो आपको ये पकड़ के चलना है कि इनका जो H2 नंबर है इसमें 11 करोड़ नहीं रहेगा, वो आपको उतना ऑटोमेटिकली पैट से कम हो जाता है. And now one like the next part is should be listened carefully कि इनका 4.6 crore का जो other income है that is from the net monetary gains. Now इसका explanation दिया नहीं, but what this generally means like out of my experience कि जो आपका exchange transactions होता है तो उसमें आपके जो monetary, समझो you have डेटा डॉलर ट्रांजेक्शन, तो उसका जो आपको गेन मिला ड्यू टू दी फेवरेबल करेंसी एक्सचेंजेस, उसका 4.6 करोड़ दिया है। एंड वन दिस 4.9 करोड़ का एक और एक गेन है जो दिस इज फ्रॉम इंश्योरेंस लेस रिफ्लेक्शन नोट। ओके, नाउ आई विल एक्सप्लेन कि ये है क्या। तो दिस कंपनी ऑल्सो हैज ऑपरेशंस इन टर्की, तो वहां पे लाइक चीजें लाइक लॉस्ट इन ट्रांजिशन, तो इन्होंने जो अपना अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में एंड एफएस का जो आईएफआरएस का है, तो उसमें हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन का जो फॉर्मूला लगता है, ड्यू टू दैट जो आप आपका डॉलर हेज करते हो, तो उसका वो जो इनकम है वो ड्यू टू अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड वो अदर इनकम में चला जाता है। बट दैट इज आई फील द ऑपरेटिंग इनकम जो 4.9 करोड़ है एंड इवन द 4.6 करोड़, क्या ये ऑपरेटिंग इनकम में ही आना चाहिए, बट ड्यू टू अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड दैट्स नॉट गिवन। ओके, नाउ टू वैल्यू दिस कंपनी, आपको इसका जो रियल पैट और जो अदर इनकम का कंपोनेंट उसको बाइफरगेट करके उसको वैल्यू करना पड़ेगा। नाउ if I talk on the FY25 estimated numbers, आपका H2 will automatically be less in PAT because आपका जो 11 करोड़ का जो वो इंटरेस्ट इनकम था वो नहीं आएगा, जो 5.5 बाइफरगेट होना चाहिए था वो नहीं होगा, तो सिर्फ 11.3 in H1 एंड 0 to very minor in H2, तो आपका उतना निकल जाता है। एंड आपका जो ये अदर गेन्स है दैट विल ऑल्सो कम। तो अगर आप इनका एक्सपेक्टेड नंबर्स निकालोगे बाय व्हाट वी कैन से, दोनों साइड H1 और H2 में अगर आपने इनका एक्सपेक्टेड जो चीजें बाइफरगेट होती है, अगर आपने उसको बांट दिया दो चीजों में, तो आपका जो पूरे साल का पैट है वो सिर्फ 80 करोड़ के आसपास आता है। ओके, वन सेक। हाँ, सो इनका जो आपका पूरे साल का पैट निकालता है, इफ यू जस्ट एक्स्ट्रापोलेट दिस नंबर्स एंड डू इट ऑन अ टीटीएम बेसिस ट्रेलिंग 12 मंथ्स, तो आपका 80 करोड़ का ही पैट आता है। ओके, बट सिंस दे हैव अक्वायर्ड दिस मेहरू इलेक्ट्रिकल्स और दे आर द मैनेजमेंट हैज सेड वेरी क्लियरली कि आपका नेक्स्ट 45 days, एंड एक्चुअली हैज इवन सेड ऑन टेलीविजन इंटरव्यू की ऑन विद आई गेस जी बिजनेस और एनडीटी प्रॉफिट कि हमारा जो कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ मेहरू है दैट विल बी इन नेक्स्ट मंथ ओनली। ओके, लाइक मार्च में हो जाएगा। तो आपका जो वो Q4 का नंबर आएगा ड्यू टू दैट वाज एन एसपीआई एग्रीमेंट, तो स्पेशल परचेज अग्रीमेंट था, तो आपका जो Q4 का नंबर ऑफ मेहरू है दैट विल गेट कंसोलिडेटेड एंड दिस ईयर्स मेहरू's पैट शुड बी रफली 16-17 CR। ओके, लाइक इनका H2 में 66% आता है, H1 में इनका 34% आता है, तो पकड़ के चलिए तो 4.5 करोड़ के आसपास जो पैट आएगा Q4 में दैट विल गेट मर्ज इन दी आफ्टर दी, जो आपको प्रोफार्मा है वो दैट विल ट्रांसफर इनटू कंसोलिडेटेड नंबर्स। ओके, तो आपको जो साल का पैट आता है FY25 का बेस्ड ऑन टीटीएम प्लस मेहरू's Q4 एंड रिड्यूसिंग दी वन टाइम गेन्स इन विच वाज बुक्ड इन H1, जो आइडियली दोनों H1 प्लस H2 में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होने चाहिए थे। तो आपका वो नंबर आता है लफली 85 करोड़ काइंड ऑफ। ओके, FY25 मतलब जो करंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर आ रहा है उस पे इसका 85 करोड़ का पैट होता है। नो, यू कैनॉट वैल्यू दिस कंपनी जस्ट की 3291 का मार्केट कैप है, मैंने 85 से डिवाइड कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं होगा। when the other income आपका ऐसा है जो which is not related to the operations, तो आपको उसका पी नहीं मिलता है, आपका जो कोर बिजनेस का इनकम है उसी पे आपको पी मिलता है। एंड इफ आई जस्ट डू इट इन दैट सेंस, अगर मैं उसको एलिमिनेट करता हूं तो FY25 पे शार्प एकदम विदाउट एनी डिसिमल 50 टाइम्स पे आईपीओ आ रहा है, 5050। मतलब आई फील कि ऐसा ही इसका प्राइसिंग होगा कि 50 टाइम्स FY25 डन, ऐसा ही प्राइसिंग दिख रहा है इसका। बट इफ आई कम ऑन इट्स FY26 नंबर्स एंड इसका जो एस्टिमेटेड है, तो इसके हिसाब से जो आपका मेहरू इलेक्ट्रिकल का है, एंड दे हैव सेड क्लियरली कि अभी वी आर ऑपरेटिंग एट 7.7% EBITDA। व्हाट इज इट्स मीनिंग कि जो कंपनी का क्वालिटी पावर का पूरे साल का ऑफ करंट फाइनेंशियल एस्टिमेटेड है कि एक 370, 380, 400 काइंड ऑफ टॉप लाइन आना चाहिए, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग 370, 380, तो उसमें मेहरू का 200 करोड़ ऐड हो जाएगा। बट Meru operates at 7.7% EBITDA margin. Quality Power operates at roughly 21%, 20 to 22%. Okay, तो ये पोस्ट कंसोल इनका मार्जिन नीचे आ जाएगा, बट मैनेजमेंट ने सेट की Meru has very heavy capabilities, but they are operating in India only. Due to our network, we will do it in exports, and exports में उसके margins are far superior. तो we are confident to gain its margin. So even if I take किसका 7.5 का आप 10-10.5% कर दो, which is very likely, not a very tough task. Okay, and if I just keep the constant margins of the quality power, या फिर 50 basis points like something आपने ऐसा कुछ add up कर लिया, तो इसका जो साल का FY26 का पैट आता है दैट कम्स राइट बिटवीन लाइक 130-140 करोड़ काइंड ऑफ। इफ आई कंसिडर द मीन 135, तो उसके हिसाब से 25 टाइम पे आईपीओ आ रहा है। ओके, लाइक सिंपल आपका मैथ्स है कि आप 3291 को आप 140 135 जो आपका एक्सपेक्टेड उसके हिसाब से 24-25 टाइम पे आईपीओ आ रहा है. ओके, नाउ इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग इज लाइक इन्होंने जो अपने पियर कॉम्पिटिटर्स दिखाए इन आरएचपी, दैट इज जी वर्नोवा, ट्रिल दिखाया है, ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स, रेक्टिफायर्स, एंड केप्ट वन मोर कंपनी, आई गेस हिटाची एनर्जी है. सो management has indirectly said कि I guess all three or two of these three are the clients of quality power only, and they are not like comparable with this. और एक चीज ये भी है कि वो 200-250 पी पे चलते हैं, तो आप उसको 200-250 का तो नहीं दे सकते हो पी, क्योंकि द थिंग इज लाइक इनका FY24 का कोई अर्निंग नहीं था जो रेस्ट 3 पीयर्स विच दे हैव शोन इन द आरएचपी, बट इनका इवेंचुअली FY25 FY26 में बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग अर्निंग्स आएगा, तो आपको पी जो 250 दिख रहा था वो शायद 50-60 पे नीचे आ जाएगा. ओके, now if I check, this is very interesting thing which I feel no one has pointed in this company is this company's जो reactors है and coil capacitors है, sorry line traps है, that are also applicable in nuclear segment. Okay, so the company already has, like they are not in what we can say development phase, they have already developed reactors which is related to the nuclear sector. They have written this in RHP also, but they haven't highlighted it, but yes, they have said we have those capabilities. And in India as of now, I don't feel any company has that heavy capabilities of making nuclear reactors and that. So I feel कि like आपका I would say कि 6 महीने में, साल भर में ये जो न्यूक्लियर एज अ थीम निकलेगा ना, तो आई फील कि डायरेक्ट इसका प्ले कैन बी दिस कंपनी ऑल्सो, क्वालिटी पावर ऑल्सो. तो आई फील मार्केट विल गिव इट like foresee the premium in future, and it will richly get valued it richly on that kind of a segment. कि आप न्यूक्लियर में भी they have a portfolio, like they are from many much good time, and they have 75% of export. So I won't be surprised कि इसका like लिस्टिंग के थोड़े दिनों बाद, 1 महीने 3 महीने 6 महीने बाद न्यूक्लियर साइड में भी कुछ अच्छे ऑर्डर्स आ जाए. Okay, so I feel कि capabilities are very strong. Company is on 100 crore cash balances. Okay, बैंक बैलेंस इनका 100 करोड़ है, कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कर रखी है, कुछ म्यूचुअल फंड्स लेके रखे हैं. Cash flow from all 3 categories are positive, which is very rare to see from operations, after working capital, after investment, after each and everything they are positive. Even in the H1, even if I consider the increased trade receivable जो इनका H2 में बिलिंग होता है, उसको पकड़ने के बाद भी ये पॉजिटिव है. So I feel कि कंपनी इज very good, बट आपको वो जो आपका पी का है उसमें से आपको वो इनकम निकालना पड़ेगा, और ये प्योरली FY26 का प्ले है. FY25 पे 50 का पी नहीं बनता इसका, बट FY26 पे व्हेन आई जस्ट चेक आउट दीज नंबर्स, तो वो लाइक वैल्यूएशन बैठ जाता है इसका. ओके, एंड एलएम इज पेंटोमथ. आई गेस इसके लास्ट 2-3 मेन बोर्ड आईपीओ वाज क्रोनॉक्स, सनस्टार, प्लाजा वायर्स. All have done well, like at least on listing they have done well. Some have actually, I would say except Plaza and Sunstar, Chronox has done well post listing. So LM का ट्राई करो, I would say ठीक है, but they haven't handled 800 crore, like उनका I guess highest आज तक का handling I guess Sunstar का 400-500 करोड़ का था, उसके beyond they haven't handled. So this is largest IPO for the LM itself. So I feel high capabilities है, strong capabilities है, management is very strong. And one more a good thing in it, like I like to appreciate कि against the company nor against the promoters there is not a single case or pending litigation in history or at present. Okay, so I feel these companies should get a marks for a good corporate governance कि आपके अगेंस्ट कोई भी केसेस नहीं है. And I value this. Many people don't value on this a company on that parameter, but I like such companies जिनके अगेंस्ट कोई भी केसेस नहीं होते, आपका प्रमोटर का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड क्लीन होता है. Okay, and I've checked the interview. Bharnidharan Pandan, who is the face of the company, he is actually a very good and professional person. So overall, good company, decent valuations, future पे valuations looks attractive, good capabilities, markets बुरे हैं. So I would say कि I won't regret applying this IPO. I am thinking to apply. मैं कितने फोर्स से अप्लाई करूंगा that I'm not sure, but I surely going to apply some. Even if markets like थोड़े से भी improve होते हैं, I can go full force into it. But yes, one thing कि markets खराब है, so आपने इनका एंकर बुक देखा होगा. Actually it had few very good names, like आशीष कचुलिया थे, इनाम ग्रुप था, few good funds were there, few rare names जो बहुत दिनों बाद दिखे. But आप अगर पूरा एंकर बुक ठीक से देखोगे तो डिमांड नहीं थी, वो दिखती है. That might be due to the I would say bad market conditions than the bad fundamentals of the company. If this IPO had हिट एट अ नॉर्मल मार्केट कंडीशंस, लाइक ये 50% के नीचे तो लिस्ट होना नामुमकिन था इसका. बट given the market conditions are not great, जो investors can make their due diligence and evaluate this company, but I feel very very interesting play and not a normal kind of IPO की बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाएगा 5 मिनट में 10 मिनट में, तो थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स था. So thank you, हो गया मेरे तरफ से.
Got it. To start with, एक question है मेरा Tanmay. You said there are 150 crores on books, right? Like 100 crores है, उसके बाद mutual fund है. So is there, like, why not do a full OFS? Like, why do a fresh issue in the first place? Is there? I'm assuming there's no guideline, right? कि इतना fresh issue करना ही पड़ता है, इतनी size के below or something which I'm missing, right?
सर क्या होता है अभी देखो, दे वांट टू अक्वायर दिस कंपनी 117 crores, ओके, कंसिडरेशन, एंड आई फील दे आर एक्वायरिंग 51%. Okay, so eventually they will have a plan to acquire further 25%, which is very very likely in the next 6 to 12 months. So the company is working on a foreseeable future and not on the current कि हाँ मेरे इसमें 100 crore है, म्यूचुअल फंड में तोड़ दूंगा 150 crore आ जाएंगे, 117 में एक्विजिशन कर लूंगा और 30-40 crore बचेगा, फ्यूचर कैश फ्लो से और ले लूंगा. So that would make the company, what you can say, like जो कैश आपने जनरेट किया 5 साल में 2019-18 से जो भी है, वो आप पूरा एक ही झटके में निकल. सो आई फेल्ट कि what decision the management did to do an IPO and take money out of it, actually I feel is I would say accurate. तो वही है. And when a company is acquiring 51% for and giving it in RHP and raising IPO funds for that, so I feel future में they would even evaluate to acquire completely or maybe 25-26 more percentage. So मुझे उसमें ज्यादा कोई इशू दिखता नहीं है.
Got it. Second question, I understand the segment has a lot of tailwinds, right? Like it is, there's a lot of investment being done by the government in T&D, etc. So, let's say, do you think it makes sense to probably, even if not apply an IPO, then probably keep it on the track and then wait for that IPO base breakout or something like that? Or you think considering the market segments, just avoid right now and then probably let it be?
Sir, my view in this would be कि जो what we can say compelled IPO investors like us, we are not going to skip it at any chance because company is good. And one more thing here can be कि यार समझो you are applying, if it lists like I would say 10%, 15%, 20% premium, after even at it lists at par, शायद नीचे भी हो जाए. Any condition is possible due to the bad market scenarios. ये आपको एंड ऑफ द डे पैसा बना के देगा, व्हाट आई फील. तो इवन इफ यू अप्लाई एंड होल्ड इट, तो दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू लाइक ऐसा कुछ हो जाएगा कि यार ये 30% नीचे चला जाएगा, 20% चला जाएगा, ऐसा आई डोंट फील एनीथिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन. एंड वन मोर थिंग, यू स्पोक गुड वर्ड ऑन इंडस्ट्री, वो शायद मैं मैट्रिक्स पे देना भूल गया. तो दिस ओवरऑल एज इंडस्ट्री HVDC, दे आर ग्रोइंग एट 18% सीजर, नॉट इन इंडिया, ग्लोबली. In India, it's growing at 30-35% CAGR. And few of its products का जो market है ना, they have given that in RHP also, that is growing at 60% CAGR, 60% CAGR for next 5 years. तो आप सिर्फ सोचिए कि what is the headroom for this company for doing the growth. And one interesting point here is which management said, and I felt they did well by saying that, कि हमारे जो products है, Meru, I'm not saying about Meru, okay, but for as quality power at standalone level, जो इनके प्रोडक्ट्स का मार्जिन एक्सपोर्ट में है, दैट इज ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर टू इन डोमेस्टिक मार्केट. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आप डोमेस्टिक में काम करोगे और आपका मार्जिन घट जाएगा एंड मार्जिन प्रोफाइल एंड पैट मार्जिन विल गो डाउन. दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. हाँ, 100-200 बेसिस पॉइंट्स का तो वो तो लॉजिकल है, बट ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 20-21% एबिटा का 15% हो जाए, 12% हो जाए, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है. सो दैट आई फील कि इंडस्ट्री ग्रोथ इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, कंपनी इज इन अ गुड सेगमेंट. थोड़ा न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर्स का भी तड़का है इसके अंदर, वी डोंट नो कि ये कब वर्कआउट करेगा, बट जब भी करेगा दिस कंपनी विल बी वेरी फर्स्ट टू रैली ऑन दैट पार्ट बिकॉज दे हैव द कैपेबिलिटीज. ओके, एंड ऑफ द डे उनको सिर्फ ऑर्डर्स चाहिए, they can do that. And one more thing I forgot to say was capacity utilization. सांगली महाराष्ट्र के कुछ चीजों से दे हैव गिवन एज पर प्रोडक्ट पोर्टफोलियो. ओके, तो कुछ चीजों में 85% है, कुछ जगह पे 65, कुछ जगह पे 20% ही है. बट इफ आई जस्ट ब्लेंड एवरीथिंग, रफली 65-70% का है. मतलब दे हैव गुड हेडरूम फॉर ग्रोथ एंड दे आर ऑल्सो डूइंग स्मॉल, आई गेस 27 crore केपिक्स ऑल्सो. एंड मेहरू का भी जो आपका एड ऑन होगा, दैट इज भिवाड़ी राजस्थान बेस्ड कंपनी. ओके, एंड भिवाड़ी के आसपास भी इलेक्ट्रिकल इक्विपमेंट्स T&D के बहुत सारे सेटअप्स भी आ रहे हैं. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो स्ट्रेटेजिकली प्लेस्ड कंपनी. उनका यूटिलाइजेशन का तो अपने पास डेटा नहीं है, बट ओवरऑल द कंपनी हैज हेडरूम फॉर ग्रोथ.
I'm not sure where Rohit is. But yeah, we have kind of covered with that quality, as you said. It seems like a good company, but coming at a bad time. With that, maybe there were a few questions with respect to Hexaware and how it should be valued per se. So, Tanmay, just throwing a googly at you. I know you were not prepared for this, but from your idea, how do you value Hexaware? A very high level review like that would be helpful.
सर हेक्सावेयर का ऐसा है ना, सी दिस कंपनी इज एक्चुअली वेरी वेरी सॉलिड फंडामेंटल्स की यार, साल का 1,000-1,200 करोड़ का जनरेट कर रही है. आई वुड से इनका जो वैल्यूएशन था दैट वाज आई गेस 35-36 टाइम्स समथिंग, एंड उनका कुछ जो आपका पैट और एबिटा नीचे दिख रहा था दैट वाज ड्यू टू सम वन टाइम एक्सपेंसेस. तो इफ आई एडजस्ट दैट लाइक रफली 32-33 टाइम पे आ रहा था. बट वन इशू आई फाउंड इन दिस कंपनी विच was actually very serious कि इनका I guess majority जो largest chunk of revenue that comes from Canada. Okay, I feel जो मैंने पढ़ा है ना 65% of the revenue comes from Canada. और वहां पे जो चीजें चल रही है like this all the tariffs, okay, and the economic slowdown and bad relations with India. So I felt कि I can be wrong, like मैंने बहुत ज्यादा research नहीं किया है, but I felt कि a company with which is having that level of exposure in a country which is under pressure from at macro level or and even at country's point of view, like उनके internally बहुत सारे problems है. Okay, so that might not get that mid cap IT level of multiples. Okay, like Coforge, which was once the same promoters company, used to trade at like I would say 35 times only. So I felt कि this company might get a valuation of 10 to 15% lower than the others. वे persistent वगैरह 80-90 times पे होगी उनका. I would say कि growth बहुत ज्यादा robust है because like industry is growing at like say 6-7% at mid cap level. That company is doing at like 15-20%. This company Hexaware is doing at like 10-11%. Okay, like in USD terms they are saying 5-6%, 6-7%, and at rupee term that should be like 11% something. तो लाइक कंपनी अच्छी है. हाँ, इनका एआई में रिलेटेड दे हैव एन अपर हैंड रिलेटेड टू अदर प्लेयर्स. तो आप उसका एक 5% प्रीमियम ले सकते हो, बट नेट नेट पे आई फेल्ट कि उन्होंने 10% सस्ता रखना चाहिए था. एंड माई एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ प्राइसिंग एट दिस आईपीओ वर 650-660 ओनली. तो आई फेल्ट कि थोड़ा सा वैल्यूएशंस आर ऑन प्रीमियम साइड, बट यस management was very very strong, and 2021 में I have actually tracked this company well delisting से पहले. Okay, so company अच्छा और अच्छा है, and like cash flows are very healthy. The promoter is very strong, but हाँ, one thing which everyone should note कि the management has said clearly कि the aim of the company is to be completely a public company. What does this mean? जैसा कोफोर्ज भी हुआ ना, वंस कार्लाइल वाज ओनर ऑफ द 100% स्टेक एंड दे सोल्ड आउट देयर लेफ्ट 21% स्टेक आई गेस 2 months बैक. ओके, जो मुझे याद आ रहा है. नाउ कार्लाइल ओन 0% इन दिस कोफोर्ज एंड नाउ 100% इज विद म्यूचुअल फंड्स, डीआईज, एफआईज एंड पब्लिक. तो हर एक साल 6 महीने 1.5 साल में इसमें 10% की ब्लॉक डील होगी, एंड इवेंचुअली जो अभी 95% है और आईपीओ के बाद जो आपका 70% हो जाएगा, तो इवेंचुअली जीरो चला जाएगा, एंड कार्लाइल विल एग्जिट द कंप्लीट कंपनी एंड द पब्लिक विल बी ओनर ऑफ दिस कंपनी. सो दिस सेस कि ये कंपनी में लिक्विडिटी का फ्लो तो आता ही रहेगा, एंड फॉर दिस कंपनीज द स्टॉक प्राइस मूवमेंट इज एक्चुअली वेरी वेरी टफ, बिकॉज हर लाइक 6-8 महीने में लिक्विडिटी आता है, 1 साल में लिक्विडिटी आता है, उसको सोक करने में 6 महीने लगते हैं, वो होता है फिर से नहीं आ जाती है. सो सच काइंड ऑफ स्टॉक्स एक्चुअली डोंट डू वेरी वेल एट स्टॉक प्राइस लेवल. हाँ, बहुत आपका अगर 5-7 साल का विजन है तो बात अलग है, बट आई एम हैविंग अ न्यूट्रल व्यू. बट कंपनी इज वेरी वेरी गुड, नो इश्यूज एट कंपनी लेवल. एक कनाडा का पॉइंट और एक वैल्यूएशन का पॉइंट एंड दिस पब्लिक, तो ये 2-3 चीजें मैं छोड़ दूं तो कंपनी तो बहुत अच्छी है. लाइक नो वरीज ऑन एनीथिंग.
Got it. With that, Rohit, are you in? I can't see you, or we can just close the space after this. We have nothing else to add.
No, he is not there.
Okay, then we can close the space today. We will come back next week with respect to next set of IPOs, and then we'll take it forward from there. Till then, let's hope that the markets improve, and then we'll take it forward from there. Thank you so much, guys. Good. Have a good day. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.